Hey,
Hey.
hey, quack, quack. Quack, quack. Quack, quack.
Quack, quack,
No.
quack, quack, quack,
No.
quack, quack.
Are we torturing you yet?
Are you all right?
No.
I only see two lines.
Some weak ass fucking shit, girl.
Sorry. I don't have the thing.
Hey guys, it's your favorite fan again, Fat Ben.
Carmen.
Favorite final Bob Dylan.
Where's my line?
Hey guys, it's your favorite final boring girl, Emily and Nick. Boyle and Goyle.
Girl and boy, Emily and Nick.
And your favorite planet, Baby.
That's me.
Mike.
It's yo.
We're coming at you with a new episode of Gag Me the Knife, a weekly podcast where we shred, disembowel, and dissect the best and worst slasher movies. This month, we're going to be doing some Giallos.
Okay, we're kicking off 2023 with a month of Giallos.
Yay.
This week's episode is 1972's Don't Torture a Duckling, and I'm going to read the back of the DVD because it's Italian. So.
Viva Italia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hope y'all
Francesco!
are ready for this.
Did you guys know I have an Italian degree?
Marcello.
Several young boys are murdered in a remote village rife with sex and superstition, and the townspeople go mad with rage and violence. But when a hard-nosed reporter and a promiscuous young woman search for the true killer, they discover a fiend and motive, even more shocking than the crimes themselves. Don't Torture a Duckling is a landmark giallo so savage it could only come from the mind of the director, Lucio Fulci. Featuring an international all-star cast that includes Tomas Milian, Barbara Boucher, Irene Pappas, and Florinda Bolkan. This rediscovered classic has been restored from the original vault materials, is now presented completely uncut and uncensored. This is the DVD. So, 1972, your thoughts, Nick?
Man, this movie's great, but also, I guess what you just said, I'd never heard that back of a box or whatever, but it's not, like, as outrageous as, like zombie itself.
It's really not,
Fulci's is way, like, you know.
Who do you think's hotter? Florinda Balkan or Barbara Boucher?
Okay, so which
Barbara
is the
Boucher.
older and who's the younger?
Wait, who's the witch?
That's Florinda Balkan.
Okay, the other one. Barbara Boucher.
Both of them.
Yeah,
The witch is fucking
Everybody had
witchy,
them
and that shit's hot as fuck. And
the
then,
other one's a temptress, if you will.
well, no.
She's like
yeah.
making little kids look at her. Haven't you ever seen any of
One
them
looks
before,
like
Michele?
one looks like she ages well, and one looks like she doesn't.
Oh, the blonde one doesn't, right?
The younger one doesn't, because the older one is already aged.
The
and
rich
she's
one or
aged.
the
No,
witch?
I think the older
Rich one
one,
or
they
the
just
witch
put some
one?
like
The
soot on her
witch-
face.
the
I think
witch is the older
the witch
one.
isn't older. She's
No,
just
she's
dirty.
not. She's just dirty.
She's
Yeah.
just fucking poor.
Yeah.
The dirty one ages better.
She doesn't have Cartier lighters.
No, man, she's hot. They're both hot.
Thomas Million's hot too. The reporter.
Wait.
He was big in spaghetti westerns. He was like a big communist actor.
Okay.
He was in this movie Compañeros, Mark Parker's favorite fucking movies. Vámonos a matar compañeros, and what's the other big one? I can't remember.
And for all you listeners
Tomas.
out there, there's a whole series of VHSs called Mark Parker's Favorites.
Mark Parker's favorites, like The Harder They Come. Vámonos
Anyway,
a
okay,
matar
getting into the movie.
compañeros, Game of Thrones. Rest in peace, baby.
R.I.P. Love you, dude. But let's get into the.
So there's some pretty mountains in Italy, and there's a
I mean,
lady
I love
singing.
Mark, but
There's
we-
always a lady singing, and there's a big bridge, and there's a lady digging with her bare fucking hands, and we see a child skeleton, and she like picks it up, and there are these kids watching traffic, and one of them slingshots a lizard. There's lots of dead lizards in these Italian movies, or just dead animals in general. But there's some other kids in church sneaking out. Wait, I guess it's this one kid is out, like, watching, and the two are sneaking out of church to meet up with their homie. What are their names? Michele, Antonio. I can't remember the kids' names. Who cares? So there's There's
Well,
some
some of them die. So
there's some big gals driving. That's
there's
what I wrote
Bruno,
down.
Tonino,
Bruno,
Michelle,
Antonio's Tonino.
Mario,
And Michele.
yeah, Michele, Spriano.
Okay, so there's some big whores,
I love
big
though
ladies,
that they're smoking cigarettes.
they're
I thought
smoking
I was like,
cigarettes
y'all
and-
are the cool
no,
stuff.
Reading
those
to
kids
each
are
other.
fucking partying.
Yeah, they're partying hard, and they're like, "Where's
Oh, I thought you were talking about the big ladies
who,
driving.
no,
the
who
big
are they
whores.
waiting on?
They're
He's
dress
like
sharp
running
too, man.
late.
I think that's
Bruno,
Mario's the one that dies last, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
one of them's already. I don't know which one. I think it's the first one to die is already out there.
I'm really glad that Bob was not in this movie.
Oh, fucking Bob, dude. I think he doesn't come around until later in the 70s. Like he's like a House by the Cemetery. That's like what,
There
81?
were no Bobs before the 70s?
80?
No, the kid that played that's in all those movies. He's in
House by the Cemetery.
He's
is
in
the one
House
I
by the
know.
Cemetery. He's in Blade in the Dark. He's in.
Yeah, he is in that.
He's in
This is pre-Bob.
the Night Rip. Whatever. Manhattan. Baby.
No, yeah,
Or no.
he's the older brother in
Yeah,
Manhattan Baby.
he's in.
But that's like 80s.
He's
so.
in like a few Fulci movies.
He was probably like -1. This is 1972.
Everyone talks so much shit about Bob on the internet. They hate him.
I kind of like him. He reminds me of Charlie from Charlie and the Chocolate
Ew,
Factory.
I hated Charlie.
Charlie from Willy Wonka.
The only person I hated more was Grandpa Joe, because that
You don't
bitch
like Grandpa Joe?
No, because he couldn't walk for
He's the
years
bad
and years.
guy and dead and
Charlie
buried.
and
It's
well, he's
awesome.
also in Chico and the Man, and Charlie was saving him extra like money for him to get cigars, and he couldn't walk, and he lays
then
in
he
bed all day
dances.
until he gets the golden ticket. Then all of a sudden he can do vaudeville.
Well,
that bitch should have been working.
Hey, was Chico in that?
And it's like his mom is having to like wash dirty clothes and like and they have to eat cabbage all the time, and he's just laying
Somehow
there.
we got on a tirade
Chico
about
and the
Willy
fucking
Wonka.
Tricker and the Ape.
Chico and the Man is had Freddie
You're
Prinze in it.
thinking Bedtime for Bonzo?
Yeah,
No,
you're
that's-
talking.
that-
Oh,
that-
wait.
No,
that's
you're
that's
talking about
Ronnie
BJ and the
Reagan.
Bear.
That's the
BJ
giver.
You're
and
talking
the
about
Bear.
BJ and the Bear.
BJ and the Bear.
No, it was the Clint Eastwood.
that's-
Any Which Way But
that's what I'm
Loose.
talking about, yeah.
Any which way, but-
Chico and the Man had Freddie Prinze and
Oh, okay, yeah.
and the guy
Freddie Prinze
from
Senior.
yeah, and the grandpa from Charlie and Chocolate
I'm
Factory.
talking about R.I.P. Shit.
Yeah, for real. He and now there's a person who did tons of Quaaludes. They overprescribed them
If you know
Quaaludes.
Quaaludes. holla.
Anyone got Quaaludes?
Are you guys
Hit us up on our-
something?
hit us up
Every
on our
episode.
Patreon. Not everyone. So there's these big fat whores driving down the road, and the kid that's already out there, he's like, "Holy shit, dudes, hurry up! We're gonna go watch these big cows get nailed in the old haunted house." And so they're smoking, and they're
Who's
going
gonna
to
be nailing
they're going to
them?
check out the fatties, and the girls are meeting some guys to fuck for money. And
They're
this is when-
prostitutes.
this is when
Everyone's
we see,
excited about them coming into town because it's a big deal that everyone knows these prostitutes are coming into town.
Yeah, I mean, do you know the
Shit
name of this
rules
town?
We're paying women to be there.
This is a pretty
Get
small
there.
town in southern Italy. So they're gonna fuck these dudes in the haunted house, and this is when you see the Barra, the crazy unibrow pervert guy. And the kids are making fun of him, and he's chasing them. And then we see, like, it cuts to a voodoo doll, and one of them gets a pin in his throat, one a pin in his eye, and one a pin in his heart. And the kid takes orange juice to a naked lady. Oh, yeah. This is when Michele is back home, and his mom is like, the lady of the house needs some orange juice. And he goes downstairs, and what's her name? Patricia?
Yeah, I think so.
Pat. I've got Pat written
Patrizia.
down. Patrizia.
Yeah, it's like
Patrizia.
Patrizia, yeah.
But he's
No,
taking
that's what it
OJ
is, yeah.
down there, and she's like, "Haven't you ever seen a naked woman?" He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
plenty
no,
of them." He's like sweating his ass off.
that is Patrizia. Yeah,
Barbara Boucher's character,
yeah.
and she is fine. She's looking
Yeah.
good, laid out on
yeah.
on some big '70s fancy furniture, and it has that big when I was a kid, my grandpa had little ones, like those little water toys where it has like colored oil. It's like a huge.
No, yeah. It's something you see.
Thing. You see it several
it's-
times.
Yeah, it's something you see at like
What do you call
like
those?
a fucking Stevie Nicks shop or whatever.
Yeah, it's curio cabinet bullshit from the
Yeah.
'70s. They look really cool. I don't know what you
It's-
call it.
Yeah, well, it's like a lava lamp, but like Something like that.
So she
Hey,
got the,
look, there's one right there.
she's got the juice,
Looks like
and
his turd.
she's got the juice, and she starts pouring it down her body. And then the mom's like, Michaela, what are you doing? Bothering the lady.
No. Okay, so like,
Oh my god.
the mother sends him up there, but like she's like, "Would you like to sleep with me?" And everything. Like she's
Yeah,
like
she's
pedo
coming
as
on
fuck.
hard.
Like yeah, she's.
Well, no,
chimba.
I mean she's not trying to. She's like she's.
Do you think she would have let him
No, I don't. I think she was teasing
even
him.
smell it?
Smell what?
Her,
No, I don't think.
junk.
What, dude? No.
dude, vabbing is a thing. Are you guys familiar with vabbing?
God damn it!
Where you dab vab
What are you? Are you talking about tampon tea?
tampon tea?
Yeah.
Anyway,
So he is taking this shit back upstairs, and he kind of trips over and looks back all bashfully. And then we see another kid being chased through the wood.
we forgot about Giuseppe, who was like
Oh yeah, just
peeping Tom, and
No, I said
they all
he's
make fun of him.
the crazy unibrow pervert that chase away, and then he chases them.
Well, voyeurism. Like he was looking at the okay, so the prostitutes that come to town and everything, and that's why that one dude was taunting him because he kind of looking and was like, like, hey,
Yeah.
like.
But then
whatever.
the kids really lace into him after the other guy.
Yeah. But I think
John.
that's like, isn't that the whole thing? Is like, there's like prostitutes that come through town. And that's just what you do.
I think this is the last we hear about them. It was just this.
Yeah.
Was,
Sure. Yeah. It's
this is
his
where-
voyeurism that's on.
this is where
display.
Giuseppe, not Giuseppe, the kid that disappears. This is where Giuseppe Barra gets the idea to ransom the kid, but he doesn't have the fucking kid. He just knows the kid is disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of confusing. So there's a kid running through the woods at night. A guy shushes a dog, and somebody knocks the kid out, and the police are hunting for this kid. And there's a big ransom that Barra has asked for. We don't know that yet. But the family can't afford the ransom. So this is when Tomas Milian shows up as the reporter, and he's then shown the door. We see the dad planting the money in the factory, and Giuseppe Barra gets the money, but it's been a bust the whole time, like the cops were there watching. So he gets swarmed by the cops, and he says he's innocent during the interrogation, that he just needed the money, but he doesn't know where the kid is. And this is when a kid's hand gets dug up, and Barra is arrested. Again, Thomas Millian shows up, and they're like, get the fuck out of here. We see the priest and the wild woman watching. The wild woman is, do you guys know her name? I don't have the characters' names really straight in this one. Florinda Balkan.
The witch woman.
Yeah. Florinda.
Let's see. Yeah, Macchiara.
Macchiara. So they're watching while there's a riot in downtown while they're taking Barra into jail, and the police figure out that it's not him. And then we hear the same lady singing, which I love that whenever, like, it's the opening of a scene, you'll hear this lady singing. I assume it's Macchiara. I think I said it right.
It is, yeah.
She's a good singer. So we see a shot of a figure in black finding another second boy drowned, and it cuts to bloody hands bearing voodoo dolls again.
Dude, okay, so like, is that the figure drowned with the boy with the mouth wide open, like, ah?
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly looking.
It's pretty good.
Both these movies have good drowning effects. What a horrible way to die. Would you rather be engulfed in flame or drown?
Engulfed in flames, because I think I'd pass out. Drowning, it scares the shit out of me because of that movie, The Legacy. Or that movie.
I've never seen The Legacy.
Roger the lead singer of The Who.
Daltrey,
yeah, he's in it, and but these like people go to this house, and like all these people start dying in really like weird ways. But one of the scenes, this woman, I only saw it once, but there was a woman, and she's like swimming, and somehow the top of the water gets turned solid while she's underwater.
Yeah.
And like
Ugh.
that, like just it stuck with me. I was like, it
But
was
I feel like-
just like the sheer panic. Because if you get set on fire, that's pretty quick. Like your nerve endings are gonna like.
I've heard that like in some medieval burnings, if they didn't throw some wet wood that would cause smoke to, it can last like 15 minutes.
Yeah, but I feel like
But drowning-
I feel like the sheer
If you get
panic
tired of it,
of
you
drowning.
Just fucking suck the water and you're dead. It's over.
But you.
It's took a dark turn.
Okay, yeah. Sorry,
Anyway.
y'all. I haven't had enough cum today.
Gag me with a fucking river.
So, what's going on? Voodoo dolls getting buried. The reporter and the priest
Oh
are
shit, he's
talking.
going solo. He's going rogue.
And they're watching our girl Barbara Boucher, Patrizia, and
Singing
cops are
on a podcast.
talking about her. Everybody's talking about this
A
rich girl.
singing podcast.
Yeah.
Think about it.
A thunderstorm comes, and Michele, who's the only one of those original 3 kids left, is drawing voodoo dolls. And
Sing along podcast.
again,
No, with the
we've got
bouncing
Patrizia
dog,
calling
sing
for
along.
Michele. Oh, no, she calls him on the phone from like a fucking closed gas station or something. And she gets Michele to sneak out. And we see her driving. And while the parents are watching a Western in her apartment because she likes to have her shit watched because she's a junkie. And somebody's following Michele in the woods, and we see a old man with a machete, but that's not the killer. He sees the old man with a machete walk by, and he's scared, but then he sees the killer, and he smiles at the killer. So you're like, oh shit, the killer knows these kids. But you could still think that was Barbara Boucher at this point, too. He gets strangled. The cops see the drawing.
Patrizia.
The cops find the drawing when they're looking through his house, huh?
Okay, so when you say Barbara Boucher or whatever.
I mean Patrizia. Yeah.
Okay,
when I say
okay,
Florinda
yeah,
Vulcan, I mean Macchiara.
Okay, and Macchiara is the witch or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cops are checking out Michele's house. They find the voodoo drawings and they start questioning the parents. They're doing a dog search and they find the body.
Do you find those like dirty like cat turd voodoo dolls?
Not yet. The cop
I just remember seeing like hands like I don't know.
The cops are talking to Patrizia, and she lies about the phone call, and we cut to Macchiara bearing the dolls. We have a funeral, and Macchiara shows up at the funeral, and the cops are talking about her little girl. Wait, about the little girl with a doll. I'm sorry, the priest's little sister, and the little girl's mom. And the mom starts crying when she sees Macchiara and says that the murderer is there among them. And this is when Macchiara runs away. And it says, end of part 1.
I didn't get that.
You didn't get the end of part 1?
No.
So the cops are watching Macchiara run away. And they go to see her uncle, Uncle Francesco, who is like the town wise man / warlock.
Oh yeah, we're getting
witch.
through this one pretty quickly. There's really not a lot that happens in this movie, honestly.
Well, I'm almost there.
No,
So-
I was just like looking at her stuff, and I'm like, but I mean, it's a good movie. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
there's really not
End
a
of
lot.
part 1, I think that was like the halfway point.
Yeah, and there's not really a lot that I mean. It's a good movie, and things do happen, but it's not like filled with.
Yeah, I almost feel like he lingers on the actual action happening. So there it is a little convoluted and stuff, but it's like it moves at a good pace.
Yeah, no, I think it has great pacing. I'm just saying, like, it's not like we have 3 different subplots and shit like that.
it
It's
stays
pretty
really
like
pretty.
straightforward, you know.
Except for the child teasing.
Well, that's yeah,
So
that's just Italian though.
yeah, you gotta have a little. Have you ever seen that Burial Ground?
Oh
The
my
one
God!
with
It's
the
that's I love
Etruscan
with
zombies
the
and
kid
guy
that wants
bites
to
the
nurse
titty?
he's like wants to nurse like you did when he was
Mama.
a baby.
Yeah.
He looks like a young or he's
Doesn't he bite
definitely
his-
an adult.
Doesn't he turn to a zombie and bite her tits off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'll bite your fucking tits off. Don't know where that came from. Sorry. End of part 1. Do 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 do. So
Doing a mash
the cops
thing
go
there.
talk to What's that thing called? Suicide is something? The MASH theme is like suicide is okay or suicide is beautiful or something.
Go on.
Oh, I do love the MASH theme. I could go on about the MASH theme for hours. Just kidding.
Please don't.
The cops are talking to Uncle Francesco,
Someone talk about
the
the MASH
warlock,
for an hour.
and Uncle Francesco tells them the Macchiara's been gone for 2 weeks, dude. He hasn't seen her, and the cops are leaving, and while they're leaving, they see Patrizia show up and go into the house. So
What's
finally, the
what's
state.
she doing in there, Mike? What's she doing?
She's getting like
What's she doing?
some dick pills or something.
Is she?
She's probably she's
Why would
like
she be
so
doing
she's
that,
a
Mike?
heroin / speed addict. She's probably getting the closest thing to fucking
she
dope.
used to be.
Used to be, but she's probably getting weed from this old man. What else is the medicine man gonna fucking have? Stones that will turn your auntie into a stone.
Yeah.
Wait, that still sounds like
Now
weed.
tell us what she does after that.
You know, in Italy they call hash nero, like black.
You know what we call this? A podcast. Now get back to it.
Yes, sir. Crack that whip. So,
That's a vital sound.
bam, bam. The state police show up to town, and the reporters talking about the priest's mom, and they get an anonymous tip on
Are we
Macchiara's
telling your mama
location.
jokes?
The cops are searching with dogs and helicopters, and they end up finding
Sorry.
the little skeleton, and of Macchiara's child,
They drink espresso.
and they find the buried
fuck,
dolls,
They smoke cigarettes.
They find
and
the
then
witch
they
shit.
investigate.
and the dogs are chasing her, and she's surrounded, and she tells the cops that the boys had been digging up her baby boy, and she cursed them, but she didn't actually physically kill them. She says, I killed them, but when she says I killed them, she meant she's putting a fucking curse on these boys. And they're like, when did you strangle them? And
She's like, what?
she starts losing it and convulsing on the floor and foaming at the mouth. They sedate her, and she talks about the curse.
Women, can't live with them, can't live without them.
You know, it's a
You
Italian
know, the
movie.
curses is that time of the month.
And you got that right. I'd eat it.
I'd say it's a blessing.
God damn it. I don't need to know how you have your red wings.
That is a soul not
I
born.
ain't from
I am about to start
I
my
ain't from
period in
Detroit.
4 days, I think.
Hey,
If
come
anyone,
on now.
Mike-
I'm not inviting you over. I'm
Mike
just
has
telling-
Cost you
galaxies in his
money,
belly.
good money.
I would have to
Worlds.
pay. Okay, he's telling me I'd have to pay him to eat me out on my period, as if I want him to do that anyway.
Wait, what?
He
I'm
just
just-
told me I'd have
I'm
to
just
pay. I
kidding.
would have
Is
to.
that what you guys are
I'm
talking
just
about
kidding.
over
It's what he said that.
The first
Yeah, are
mushroom
you-
ride is always free. Mushroom.
I
mus-
don't want you to eat me out. Period.
Mustache. I said mushroom. I don't
That'd
know.
be illegal. Anyway, you should probably.
Well,
This
yeah,
weed-
I don't want it. So
this
it'd be
weed's
assault.
pretty
Hey,
good.
hey, that too. Get back to that.
Got any menstruating friends out there?
Tampon tea is a thing of the past, and you have surpassed that.
Tampon tea.
Oh, that's part in Kids when he sucks the Kool-Aid out of the tampon.
Heavy flow
Yeah.
days.
Anyway, go ahead.
So she's sedated. She talks about the curse some, and then there's like this close up of a cross, and it like fades over to Patrizia's cigarette somehow. And when Macchiara is released in the morning, old women keep spitting after her, and then she's singing in the valley again because that's what witches do. And a man, she's like,
She's a psychedelic witch.
she
She's cool
sees
as fuck.
these guys up on the hill, so she decides she's gonna go into the cemetery. But
Oh, dude, this
she
is
can't.
fucked
She's
up.
fucking with the gate, and the guys have rock music playing real loud, which is the stark opposite of like the song, beautiful song she was singing. I thought, but yeah, she gets her hand slammed in the cemetery gate, and she's surrounded by guys with chains and sticks, and there's like this fucking gnarly, elongated beating scene. It's like
Dude, something
they're
good.
just smashing her. Like
Something good in the scene is like they do a really good job of little wounds, like wounds that
the
aren't
one on
like
her face.
well, the one on her head,
Hatchet wound.
like
Wait, no, not that.
But like wounds, like whenever they're hitting her with the chains and everything, like they're little wounds, but it shows like how like you get worn down.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, wow, that's a good effect.
And when they leave her,
Like-
she's not quite dead yet. She starts crawling to the gate, and she apparently is able to climb all the way up to the road. And there's this
Dude,
really cool scene where a
it's
hand
fucking
pops up on a
gnarly.
rock, and this family's driving by, like, as she just collapses in the dirt. And she gets found pretty quickly, and then it's like time to find the culprits, but like the cop says, it's like, what are we gonna do? Arrest the whole town? Like most
Dude,
people
okay, so
didn't like her
right,
because she
okay.
wasn't a good
That music right before she got beat up, before the rock and roll set in, it was like, it's like beat the witch up to the Carpenters. The Carpenters ended it, and then
Knock
like,
that bit. What's that song?
It was like
What's that song?
I don't
Smack
know.
my bitch up.
Wait, what? The Prodigy? The Carpenters? What, you guys are
Yeah,
different
no,
pages.
no.
Smack
What-
that bitch up.
before she got to the I know this is backpedaling, but before she got to the
cemetery.
the cemetery,
There's a scene
there was
Ben.
this like really beautiful song playing, and
Yeah.
and it was like like Italian Carpenters or whatever, or
Okay.
you know what I mean, like
But then the jock type
yeah.
working man shows up and she's
Yeah.
like, squee diddly dee. 70s problem.
That was mistake from Home Sweet Home.
Fuck that mime.
He was in the kids' army.
Oh yeah. Let's not do that again.
Okay.
So
Join the Kiss Army. Let's not do that again.
are those guys still
What happened
alive?
last time?
So yeah, at this point the little redhead
we
girl.
did it before.
It didn't work
Isn't
out.
that little redhead girl? I think
guys go
that might be the
AWOL from
same
the
girl
Kids Army?
from. I think that girl might be in House by the Cemetery. The little redheaded girl.
Maybe. I
I
haven't
think
seen that
she's
movie in
Bob's
forever.
dead
It's my
friend.
least favorite of his.
Yeah, Dr. Freud's scene. It was. What you gonna do? Okay,
What you gonna
so
do? What you gonna do?
she
We're gonna
walks
sit
up
on you.
to
I don't
Patricia with this doll that the head's been popped off of, and the reporter shows up too, and they're like, "Oh, your doll's broke. We're gonna get you a new doll." And the reporter leaves, and the girl is scared by somebody she sees. I think it might have been the priest.
Ooh, wonder who the killer is.
So 2 kids are almost hit by cops, like riding down the road. Right at the same time, Pat is leaving her home, and one kid runs away scared. And the priest, he gets back to the school where the priest is the teacher, and
Priest Superman?
he rats
Clark
Mario.
Kent.
Mario's the one that's still going, I think, back to the haunted whorehouse. And the priest talks
the
to
haunted whorehouse.
the priest talks to the kid who came back, and that kid
the
rats on
school?
Mario. That
What are
kid
you
rats
talking
on.
about?
They're going to look at the
I have
horrors,
no
aren't they?
idea.
At the
Wait,
haunted house. That's
Is
what
that
they
a field
fucking
trip?
say.
They're taking the kids?
No, the whorehouse is also the haunted house. The whores use the haunted house, because nobody
Wait,
fucking lives
are
there.
you saying a house can be haunted by
I thought
whores?
that the Giuseppe lived there.
Hey, man, those are just like loose ladies, man. There's nothing wrong with them.
I don't know. But anyway.
But Maggiara is his daughter, right?
Giuseppe
no,
likes to watch.
It's whose daughter?
Giuseppe.
Is he? Where'd you get that?
No, never mind.
Uncle
Francesco. That's
Francesco is her
Francesco.
uncle.
That's her dad. That's
her uncle,
That's her.
man.
Nuh-uh.
Are you sure?
That's his daughter.
Marcello.
It could be.
It's his daughter.
Gabriella.
Okay. Well, anyway, the priest takes off on his bike.
Oh,
to
yeah,
find Mario.
Yeah, priests aren't allowed to drive either. They can't
And-
fuck. They can't drive. They can't do shit. They're like, why do people do this?
So
Like,
Patricia has a
heaven
flat.
must rule.
Patricio has a
Dude
flat
has to wear
tire,
glasses. It's bullshit.
and Mario honks his horn, and she's gonna pay him to change the tire. But again, she's kind of hitting on this little kid. And the next
Yeah,
thing
she
the next
totally
thing we
is.
see, he's face
She's gonna
down.
pay him in a kiss.
He's face down in the river. She was gonna pay him with a kiss, wasn't she? But then
Yeah,
then it
that's
cuts to him
weird.
face down in the fucking river.
Well, no fucking shit.
And the cops say the priest found him, and this is where the reporter, not the cops, find Patricia's lighter right there.
Tell us that again. Just kidding.
It's a Cartier. When she comes home, he's
It's a
there
pullover,
waiting
but thanks
with a
for
book
asking.
of black magic on the table, and they start talking about it. He's like, "Here's your lighter," and Pat gets questioned by the police and caught in 2 lies about stopping when she was driving and about seeing
Are you calling
Francesca.
Patricia Pat now?
Yeah,
All right.
He always gives them nicknames. Remember Joe?
It's Pat,
for
not
Joanne and Durham the Drew Blood.
No.
Man riding
Pat's the nickname
washing
for
machine.
Patricia.
I just wait until he talks about cum.
Have I done that yet? Okay, so Patricia is
Have I done
talking
that
to
yet?
the reporter,
I
Thomas
haven't watched
Million,
a single one of these
about
movies.
I mean, apparently.
Mario and the tire change.
So really, you don't need to take any time off.
And I
You
thought
just
this was
Oh,
cool.
I'll let you guys do those.
You know, you just
you
kinda
guys are
sit
the
in.
drivers in this one.
No, you do. No, the ones that you don't want, you can't watch.
I've never
you
even
just
seen
sit,
Halloween.
You can just sit in.
So-
no big.
I think
I've barely been paying attention to this one.
Been aiming this shit the whole time.
Lucio Fulci must be obsessed with Donald Duck because there's this big Donald Duck on
Yeah.
the newspaper, and then in
And the
Manhattan
voice
Ripper.
and the Manhattan Baby, yeah.
Wait, New York Ripper?
New York. No, it's Manhattan Baby.
New York Ripper is the one with the voice. Manhattan Baby's about a fucking child mummy.
Oh, right. But New York Ripper is also Fulci, isn't it?
Yeah, they're both.
Sounds
But
like somebody else
that's
has
the
not
one with
watched
the dog.
movie.
That's the one with the Donald Duck voice.
But
killer.
Bob is in Manhattan Baby.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's like about mummies. It's got the best fucking Fabio Frizzi soundtrack ever.
Anyway.
So
Will you
the
hum it to
reporter
me?
figures out that the little girl's imitating her brother, the priest, because both of her dolls have their heads squished off,
Sorry.
and he's like, oh, she must have learned that from watching somebody she respects.
Well, it's after, what is it? After the Patricio, like, yanked her down to a fucking, out of the frame to a fucking toy store or whatever.
Yeah. So they're Patricia and the reporter. Patricia and the reporter go searching for this duck head.
Say it again.
Duck head.
Duck head.
No, Patricia.
And they go to talk to the mom, and she says that's impossible. The door was locked. And then they go back to her place again, and they're like, "Was this the mother?"
I
But
don't
the
know.
priest calls looking for the mom and the little girl, and they're walking, and everybody's walking in the mountains at this point. And
What? Say that again?
well, okay, so
Everybody's walking in the mountains.
I missed something here, but the priest runs off with the little girl, right?
Well,
Malva.
Run into the hills.
So Patricia and the reporter are looking for the family. The priest shows up.
Stop
and
hitting her, Mike.
I'm sorry.
it was me.
They're fighting. Like the mom and the priest are
you don't have
fighting
to take that
over.
shit from him.
Oh,
Like,
The little
yeah,
girl.
he's hitting me.
But so they're up in the mountain. God damn it! They're up in the fucking mountains.
It hurts so bad.
And he hits the mom's head, or she hits her head when she falls. So the Patricia and the reporter are watching the priest carrying the little girl off, and when they catch up to the mom, she's like, "He's crazy," and there's a voiceover where the priest says he's sending the boys to heaven, and yeah, it's a weird. Why does he want him to? He doesn't want them to be.
he
sees that
never
they're
wants them
starting
to
to
sin. He wants them to be
sex,
innocent.
yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He doesn't want them
they
watching
can't
So
find
instead of
forwards.
touching them themselves,
Which is, man, that's the ultimate sin. Like, not original sin, but the ultimate sin. Like, man, let somebody know the touch of whoever the fuck they want to. Like,
Yeah,
unless the other person doesn't want to.
But she's about to get
thank you
tossed
for
off.
that.
Get the
But why is he gonna kill his sister? He's gonna save her
Thank you
innocence
for
too.
the rules of consent.
Why? It's gotta be.
But she ends up dropping the Donald Duck off the cliff, and the reporter Martinelli is like, "Hey, you son of a bitch!" Blah blah blah, saving the girl's life because he was about to throw his sister off there, and they get into a fight on the precipice, and the reporter wins, but then
This
the little
scene is
girl bites
awesome.
him,
Oh yeah, it's fucking amazing.
and the priest comes up and hits.
Do you know that
hits him in the head with a rock.
this scene is shown like, just like this clip, and like no one knows what it's from, but
Yeah.
it's famous. It's like very viral. Like
No,
this
really?
clip scene,
Like,
yeah.
So the
People-
priest is
people
on the
make fun of
attack,
it
but
a
he
lot.
gets smacked, like
Meme
had
it.
just dodged, and he fucking falls down this cliff and keeps hitting his face.
Well, no,
like, over and
Patricia,
over.
doesn't she isn't she the one that helps
Yes.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. So how's this? She
Because he's
The
about
priest
to
hits
like
it-
with the stone, with the
priest
with the
hits him with a
boulder.
big
Yeah,
rock.
Yeah, big
hits
rock.
the reporter with a big rock, and Patricia attacks and gets smacked away, and then
Well, they're
pulls him off
both
pulls him.
Yeah, hanging off, and he's like stomping on his fingers and everything.
Yeah,
Like what's his name? Not Francesco. But what's his name? Not Patrizio is the girl.
The guy is Martinelli, the reporter.
Yeah.
Monelli.
Okay.
Monelli.
Alberto is attempting to throw his little sister off of the cliff.
That's what I've been saying for like 3
Martelli
minutes.
arrives in the nick of time, and after a climactic fist fight between them, the insane priest loses his balance and falls off the cliff to his gruesome death.
Where his face scrapes against
His face
the rock.
scrapes so hard against the rock
Sparks.
that it causes metal sparks.
It's awesome.
It's hilarious.
And
You
it
can
goes
tell
on
it's
for
a
like
doll, but
for
it
a
looks
long time.
it's fucking ridiculous.
It's really
really
good.
With this voiceover where showing the boys when they were just being innocent.
Yeah.
And then you hear the lady singing in the valley again. The credits roll.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got the kill count.
Sly the Carpenter.
Okay,
count.
it's actually only 6, but I added a 7th one. So number 1 is the little skeleton baby.
Aw. Yeah.
1.5 minutes in. Then after that we have Bruno Lo Cascio, whatever. He's beaten across the head by Alberto with chains. I think it's around 14 minutes. And then after that is Tonino. He's drowned off screen by Alberto at 28 minutes. That's 14 minutes later. Then we have Michele Spriano. He's strangled by Alberto at 37.
Alberto's the priest, right?
Yeah, it's at 37 minutes. And then La Macchiara is beaten to death by the townspeople at 1 hour and around like 9.5 minutes. Then we have Mario, who's beaten by Alberto with a rock at an hour and 16.5 minutes. And then we have Don Alberto Avallone. He's thrown off of a cliff by Andrea. His face scraped off by the cliff face at 1 hour and 40 minutes. That's the 23 minutes after Mario. Trivia. So, Lucio Fulci was arrested on child endangerment grounds because of the scene where a fully nude Patrizia flirts with an underage boy. The charges were dropped when Fulci explained that close-ups were filmed separately and the shot of the boy walking towards Patrizia with a pitcher and glass of orange juice was done using a little person as a stand-in.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so he knew his boundaries. He knew exactly.
He's like, we'll just make this look really nasty.
Yeah. This is actually Fulci's favorite movie of all the movies he's ever directed.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the Beyond
It's a good
guy.
Fulci one.
Yeah.
The Beyond's
is
the
a good
best.
Fulci, yeah.
I like City of the Living Dead the best.
I like City
close
of the
second
Living
for me.
Dead.
That's my favorite one.
When that girl's puking up her fucking
That's my favorite part.
guts. Oh, what about when
And the
Michele
drill?
Salami gets the drill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of
That's the guy that directed The Church and several others.
Because of the controversial storyline which criticized the Catholic Church, the movie only got a limited release theatrically in Europe, and it was never released in the U.S. in theaters. It was finally was released by Anchor Bay in the U.S. in 2000. Riz Ortolani, the composer, he also did I don't think it's ever come out, but you can like find it on YouTube. He also did the music for this Giallo called Seven Bloodstained Orchids, which is really good. He reused some music in this film in 1980's Hannibal Holocaust. He did the music for something else we did recently.
Hannibal Holocaust?
Yeah, he totally did. It wasn't Italian either, I don't think.
It was something recent.
Cannibal or Hannibal?
Because I remember we were talking about Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh, Cannibal.
You remember
Maybe, you know what?
way more than I do.
I bet you we were talking about it when we did our soundtracks.
That's very possible.
Anyway, so none of the main cast of this movie none of them are Italian.
Nope. International cast.
One of Fulci's
I think the
first
kids are
movies
Italian.
in which he began using his
That eyebrow guy, he was probably Italian.
this is one of the first movies by Fulci in which he began using his famous extreme gore effects, which he became very famous for. So some of the people that were in Oh, I do have some more stuff about Resort Alani. Oh, the guy that did the music for this, he did Seven Bloodstained Orchids, Cannibal Holocaust, Kill Bill Volume 1, Drive. He did a lot of music for the movie Drive.
Huh.
A lot of his music is used in the TV show Euphoria, which I really like.
Is that the one about kids fucking?
That's not what it's about, but I mean that happens. So the reason his music is used a lot in the following movies is because Quentin Tarantino really likes his music. So his music has been used in Kill Bill Volume 1, Django Unchained, Inglourious Bastards. It was in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Kill Bill Volume 2, Legally Blonde.
So Robert Downey Jr.
But he also did the music for the Pajama Girl Case and House at the Edge of the Park.
What's the one he did that we talked about?
I don't remember, but I don't know. Tomas. Barbara Boucher. She did not do her own dubbing.
Hot.
She did not do her own dubbing, by the way. She was.
Nobody does their own dubbing in these movies.
Yeah, they do.
Very rare.
No, but anyway, she was in Gangs of New York, Casino Royale. She was Kalinda in the OG Star Trek. She was in French Sex Murders, The Red Queen Kills 7 Times, Death Rage, and another really good Giallo, Black Belly of the Tarantula. Thomas Million Andrea, he was in Traffic, JFK, Amistad, and LA Law. I couldn't find a budget for it, but it was apparently a pretty low budget. The box office in Italy, in Italian dollars at that time was like 1 billion something. But that comes up to about $571,322.60. Yeah. And that's all the trivia I have. So what do you rate this, Nick?
Man, I'm gonna do a hard 3.
Dang, hard 3.
I think I'll do a.
I wrote down.
I'm gonna do a semi. I'm gonna do a chubby 3.25.
Yeah.
It's a semi. It's not fully hard. It's not soft.
It needs a little.
I'm going 3.5,
but it could
a
be
little
a
bit
hard
higher.
3.
But it's not my favorite Fulci, but
No.
it was really
You
good
gotta
to see
cup
it
the
again. I
balls.
forgot how good this one was.
It is really
I
It's so
don't know.
early.
It's
I got a
very
little
good.
bored with
Yeah.
it at times.
Have you
I
guys seen
enjoyed it.
Blizzard in a Woman's Skin?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen that one, but it's
Well-
around the same period, right?
Period blood.
No. Come on, get your red wings.
So,
Get your red wings.
Stay
Come on,
gagged
get your
on
stay
on
gagged
the
on.
bones of a little baby.
Stay gagged on globs of what's that stuff called? Clot. Blood clot.
A blood
Stay
like
gagged.
from period blood clots.
Stay gagged on period blood clot.
Okay.
Stay
Stay
gagged
gagged
on Francesco.
Stay gagged on a fettuccine.
Stay gagged
Alfredo.
on sparks that you create with your head-eating cliff.
Stay gagged on naked old woman. I mean, to that kid, that was an old woman. Stay gagged on naked old woman's orange juice.
Whoa.
Stay gagged on those prostitutes' titties.
Oh,
And
man.
stay gagged on all of our social media, Instagram, TikTok, Gag Me with a Knife Podcast, Twitter, Gag Knife Pod. Buy our merch at gagmewiththeknifepodcast.com. You can become a Patreon for member shout-outs, early episode access, bonus exclusive episodes, and we will even do a fan-requested episode for you.
You know that's
so
right.
sign up at...
Request Knights of Cabiria.
Can I please for one...
Cabiria.
Can I please for once say the website so they can know how to go to it
Oh, yeah.
without y'all talking? Okay. It's www.patreon.com/gagmewiththeknifepodcast.
You've said that before.
I say it every time, but y'all always talk over me when I'm saying it. So,
Who you
Start
from
doing it
him?
again,
Like,
yeah.
we wouldn't
Yeah,
know that.
Yeah, let's do it.
we'll see you next time, where we'll be doing the case of the Bloody Iris with the beautiful Edwige, the love of Eve.
Giallo.
She is my favorite woman. She's still alive too.
Is she?
She still looks good
Let's
too.
get her on the cast, dog.
Hell, yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Ciao, Bella.
That's spaghetti.
Whoa.
Woof.
That's his girlfriend.